I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Madison Board of Education for January 21st, 2014. At this time, would everyone stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everybody, and Happy New Year. At this time, Mr. Vaccarelli, roll call, please.
Jacqueline Asbill.
Here.
Jay Fabian. Michelle Hayes.
Here.
Rex Reichert.
Here.
Kelly Tromba.
Here.
At this time, we'd like all electronic devices to be either turned off or muted. This includes cell phones, pagers, Blackberries. The Madison Board of Education is a meeting with public observation. Outbursts or interruptions is not permitted. Are there any students here observing from government class? Okay, we can skip that part. So at this time, Board, we can go to approval of the minutes for a special meeting December 3rd, 2013.
We have to approve the agenda. I'll move to approve the agenda.
It's for the agenda, I'm sorry. And we have a second for the agenda? All right, any additions or corrections? All right, Mr. Vaccarello?
Jacqueline Asbill.
Yes.
Michelle Hayes.
Yes.
Rex Reichert.
Yes.
Kelly Tromba.
Yes.
Vote is 4-0.
And now moving on to item 5, approval of the minutes for a special meeting December 3rd, 2013.
I'll move. I'll second.
Mr. Vaccarello?
Michelle Hayes.
Yes.
Rex Reichert.
Yes.
Kelly Tromba.
Yes.
Jacqueline Asbill.
Yes.
Vote is 4-0.
And for the regular meeting December 17th, 2013.
So move. I'll second.
Mr. Vaccarello?
Rex Reichert.
Yes.
Kelly Tromba.
Yes.
Jacqueline Asbill.
Yes.
Michelle Hayes.
Yes.
Vote is 4-0.
Now, in continuing our positive promotion of Madison schools, we will now have the following presentation by Dr. Roger Gowdy, Superintendent of Madison Schools. And I must say, this is a historical presentation.
I'm going to add slip one thing in there that I shared with you today regarding, we got a letter, and this letter was kind of an unusual letter, and I think this would be a good time to do it while all the kids are here. We had a letter from Barbara Kesey Rockow, and the initial letter told us that she wanted to contribute $100,000 toward a gift, like scholarship type thing that she calls GIFT. Goals, seek intelligence, have faith, and always try. She's a member of the Madison High School class of 1953, and she's challenging her classmates to add to that gift for scholarships for kids, and us to design how to apply for these scholarships and everything. As I told Mr. Vaccarello when we got it, like the First Energy grant, until you see the check in the mail, it's hard to believe that somebody's giving that kind of money to the schools for kids for scholarships. We got the check. So Mr. Vaccarello, I believe, has on the agenda tonight, Mike, don't you, setting up a new account, and I believe you've already deposited. So we are in a great situation, and I guess her husband went to Perry High School, and she went to Madison and graduated in 1953, but I thought that was pretty cool that somebody that graduated from here would give back that type of gift to the school district. So we're obviously going to call her and talk with her and write her a nice thank you letter, but it's not often in any district that you receive checks for $100,000. So I wanted to throw that out there before the recognition. I think we ought to hear it for Mrs. Keys here. Yes, we're going to start with it. Yep. All right. Now, at this time, I'd like to take a moment to recognize the 2013 Madison High School football team. The Madison High School football team had a record-setting season with a PAC record of 6 wins and 1 loss, an overall record of 10 wins and 3 losses. The highlight of the season was the team making it to the regional finals and becoming the 2013 regional runner-up in Division II. This was the first time in Madison school history that a football team has advanced to the regional finals. This is truly a remarkable team and truly remarkable players. They are certainly set the bar high for future Madison football. Now, at this time, I'd like to introduce the coaches first and recognize them with a certificate, but I'm kind of ad-libbing a little bit here. Being a former football coach and player, I got to tell you, what these young men accomplished and coaches accomplished this year, and student body supporting them is purely remarkable. I mean, had somebody asked me at the beginning of the season that would they go to the regional finals, I'd have said, you know, that's a tough challenge. Not only go to the regional finals, but beat an extremely talented Brecksville team by 1 point, to beat South and be up 35-0 at halftime against the team that beat us during the regular season. And to go through the adversity we went through with players being injured and stuff like Ben Bruni, and pushing forward. This, in my opinion, goes far beyond football. It goes to the character and the fabric of the kids of this team and the community. There is so much more that goes into winning football games than most any other sport, because you have 11 guys out there at one time, they have 11 guys out there, and there's so many variables that could take place. You know, injuries, wind, I mean, just all kinds of screwy things can happen in a football game. But it takes a special type of person and a special type of team to go through a season and have, this is truly a historic season. So some people will criticize me for, emphasizing sports too much, but you know what? I don't care, because unless you've been in this situation like these young men have and been in the foxhole together and fought through the tough times, these guys start their season in January with working out. They work all through the spring. They work all through the summer. They still work the summer jobs like the other kids do. These coaches are here every night. These coaches are here on Sunday night at 10, 11 o'clock at night. What we pay these coaches, they're certainly not being paid fairly. It's an incredible amount of effort by both the coaching staff and the kids to get to this point. And I know, as a superintendent of this district, I'm extremely proud of what you guys accomplished and how you got there. There's a lot of hard work, and you fought hard in a lot of tough situations, and you proved that you truly are champions. You are very deserving to be the PAC champions. You're very deserving to be the regional runner-ups. And to me, it's a travesty that you have to play a team like a Glenville that should be in Division I with 11 Division I players on their team. But at the end of the day, Glenville had a game. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our head coach, Mr. Tim Willis. Come up, Mr. Reiger is giving out the certificate. Mr. Mike Gilligan. Mr. Mike Martin. Mr. Tim Manillo. Mr. Nick Ciani. And Mr. Scott Harold has a junior high basketball game tonight, so you can see these guys even do more than just coach one sport. But once again, there's the type of community we are, and as small as we are, these kids are always going to be doing something, whether it be play, basketball, wrestling, or something else. So you're never going to find a night where they're all going to be here. So the ones that are here tonight and get their certificate, more power to you. If they missed it, we'll invite them back to another board meeting so that they can get their certificate. So now the players of the PAC champion Blue Streaks, starting with Mr. Nick Brooks. If he's here, come on up. Nick, okay. Nick Law, okay. Nick Bruning, come on down. Mr. Brandon Davis. Nice job. Pound for pound, this might be the toughest person I've ever met in my life. I mean, I've never seen a running back get beat up so bad during games and keep playing.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Connor Smith.
Good job.
Hunter Durzik. Hunter, zero, okay. Ben Bruning. And Ben, you talk about all kinds of things, and everybody knows by now that he's the one that got injured in the Ashtabula game, but he's also fighting to be the salutatorian of our senior class, and just a class act as a kid, and cares more about people and team than himself, and just what a great young man. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Mr. Reichert. And Lake County Student Athlete of the Year, Coach?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's also the 7-county area out of 237 schools who's earned the same award, which he gets
Wow.
awarded on March 2nd.
Wow. That's impressive. Okay. No, I lost my place, but I will find it. Okay, Ted Davis. Aaron Petroselli. Aaron, okay. Some of these kids play basketball, and we're playing at Riverside tonight, so that was my mistake. Austin Burkholder. Our quarterback, and I'll tell you, had a great season for us, and in particular against South in the reprisal game, whatever you want to call it. Okay, Burkle. Braden Jerome. Braden, great season. Great season. Jared Yo. And a lot of these kids not only played one side of the ball, but played special teams, played on both sides of the ball. So, again, they did what they did to make it work. Kevin Guerra. Okay. Randy Nicolazzo. I'm sorry. Matt Atha. Bo Ransom. Bo is wrestling. Is he? Oh, Bo's here. Really? Bo's a heck of a wrestler. When I see him during wrestling season, he's small. When I see him during football season, he's big. But he just won some big tournament this weekend. You said again, and last year, Bo was All-State, correct? Correct. Okay. And we have Jared Lasco. Jared. One of our cornerbacks and a state, he was at the state championship last year, finished in, I believe, the top 4 in the state wrestling tournament last year, and an outstanding football player. Connor Nixus. Connor. Made my day the other day when I thought Connor was a senior, and I was talking to my son, and my son said, no, Connor's only a junior, so he's back for one more year. So he's a good guy. Our nose tackle and running back. Cam Kennedy. Cam, okay. Taylor Holder. Taylor, okay. Mike, Sarah. Got the PAC champion shirt on. That's it. Wear it proudly, my man. David Albert. David Albert? Oh, he's playing basketball. Josh Cramp. Josh. Michael Scott. Jace Powell. Nick Wiles. Jack Hull. He's playing basketball. Buddy Longstreet. Tyler McGroder. All right. He's in.
I missed his name.
Vince Brown? Oh. Tyler, congratulations. Did I miss Vince? Vince Primer. I'm sorry, did I miss Vince? I jumped over the name. Vince Primer here? Basketball? Okay. See, I knew that. I know. Okay. Well, now you got messed up. Tyler McGraw. Alex Kenzinger. Alex? Dante Tolstar. Dante. All right, Dante. Dante, great job. Drew Sheeman? Sheeman? Did I mess that name, or is it Shyman? It's got to be Shyman, because I said Sheeman. How do you pronounce your name? Sheeman, I was right. All right, Drew. Thank you. John Dahlhusson. Basketball. Sam Dull. Ricky Simsick. All right. Middle linebacker, right? This boy can play. I mean, he's a hitter. He is a hitter. Zach DeFranco. Okay. Tyler Gaskin. Brandon Burkholder. Okay. Brian Del Zalpo. Reed Zawicki. John Peplowski. All right. Thank you. Luke Mozek. These guys look so much bigger on the football field. Great job, Luke. Clay Pyatt. Cam Florian. I'm sorry. Gino Salim. Brian Sarah. Thank you. Okay. Brad Weinhold. Thank you, Brad. Josh Gervin. Blake Jerome. We got more big guys than I thought we had, so you got plenty coming back here. Cody Cavender. I'll tell you, these guys don't get this well built by accident. There's a lot of hard work for these guys to get to where they are. They're well-conditioned guys. Ben Golden. Thank you, man. Marcus Key. Congratulations. Kevin Cost. Kurt Smith. Ryan Trussell. Bill Glass. Miguel Stone. Cody Welk, Justin Sapek, and Thomas Perkey. Thank you. Now, is there anybody out there that I missed? Any student or coach? That's good. That's a good thing. Let me tell these guys, I'm telling you, 40 years from now, you'll always be champions. And that's just a great thing for the football family. And I want to emphasize to the folks out watching this on the TV is these things don't happen by accident. It's a lot of hard work by that group of people right over there. And we appreciate all that the coaches do for us. We appreciate all that you athletes do for us. The support, all these parents I see at the games, bringing these guys to weight training, bringing these guys to summer conditioning. We appreciate all that you do. Winning doesn't happen by accident. It's a lot of hard work. And each of you gentlemen over there are going to go a long way in your life because you're part of a winning program. You've been taught how to win. You've climbed the mountain and you've made it to the top. So you don't measure your character and your success by state championships. You measure your character by the competitiveness you play with on the field. And every single game you guys played this season, including scrimmages, you were competitive with everybody. The scoreboard doesn't tell you whether you won or not. What tells you won or not when you came off the field and the other team knows you put a hurt on them. So you guys have truly conquered that mountain. You guys have achieved higher than any team in the history of this school district, and you will be praised for this for years and years to come. Thank you for all that you've done for the Madison schools. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Before we dismiss you, I'd like to say one thing about our coaches. Not only are they good football coaches, but they are also excellent teachers. And this is, as far as the Board of Education is concerned, is just as important. What they do in the hallways and in the classroom sets an example, role model for these young men, which our school board is extremely proud of. And we thank you for that, coaches. Thank you. All right, do we have any other board member reports? Anything the board like to say?
Just wanted to let everyone know, because this was not on film at our organizational meeting, we have developed 2 committees for the Board of Education, a communications committee, which will be chaired by Kelly Tromba, and a grant writing committee, which is chaired by me. I did put out on Facebook an invitation to anyone who is in the community who may be interested in learning how to research and write grants that would benefit the school district to please contact me. I don't have any volunteers as of yet, but I'm hopeful. If I don't get any, then I'll be doing it myself. So if anybody out there is watching and would like to learn how to write grants, please let me know.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? All right. At this time, we have public participation on the agenda. Does anyone wants to speak on agenda items at this time? I see not. Moving on to item 8 then, board, is that correct? Reports and recommendations of the treasurer, Mr. Michael Vaccarella.
Thank you, Mr. Reichert. Prior to the meeting, I put in front of each board member's place a copy of the audit for the fiscal year ended June 30th, 2013. The audit was released by the Auditor of State on December 31st. It was a clean audit, except for not preparing our financial statements in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. We prepare them on the cash basis. And there were no management letter comments this year. So I'd like to not only thank my staff, who worked very hard to make that happen, but the entire staff of the Madison School District. While it's my name on the audit, if everybody handling money and having to follow the financial rules don't do what they have to do, it's hard to get a clean audit and even harder to get no management letter comments. So I'd like to thank everybody for their efforts during the last fiscal year. Moving on to the 2 items, I actually have 3 items in the agenda. The 2 items in the first motion is to approve the financial reports for all funds, fund-to-fund transfer report, and the check payment register for December 2013, and to approve the establishment of a new Fund 007. The Gift 53 Award is found on file in the Treasurer's Office pursuant to Board Policy 6670.
So moved.
I'll second.
Comments, questions, discussion?
I have a question about the Gift 53 Award, which, thank you profusely to the donor. That is for academic scholarships?
I want to talk to her directly.
Okay.
Because her letter, it's kind of a little confusing how the acronym is GIFTS, but it doesn't specify, so we're going to get the criteria by working through her.
Okay.
So we should know that within a week.
No, it just, this is about the time of year where seniors start looking for scholarship opportunities.
Yep.
And having been to the senior awards banquets, there have been years where there's money available and no one applied for the scholarships. It doesn't happen frequently, but it does happen. As recently as 2 years ago, there was one scholarship by the dentist, Northern Dental Specialist, that went ungiven
Okay.
because no one applied for it. So I just want to make sure that if it is
Absolutely.
for academic scholarship purposes, that we communicate that pretty quickly and clearly so that students have the opportunity.
Well, just primarily due to the size of the donation. We want to make sure we're on the same page with the donor. And since it just came in, the thing, I'm not exactly sure if she wants us to invest it and just give the scholarship on the interest earned, or if she wants us to give $10,000 a year or give, so I want to make sure we're on the same page.
Right. Okay, thanks.
Anyone else? Mr. Vaccarella?
Kelly Tromba,
Yes.
Jacqueline Asbill,
Yes?
Michelle Hayes,
Yes.
Rex Reiger.
Yes?
Vote is 4-0. The other item on the agenda is a resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor. This is an annual resolution that the Board of Education has to approve. It's for the rates that are now in effect for tax purposes. I did want to point out to the board that the portion associated with the school district taxes has actually gone down. The library debt, the millage went down 0.04, and that has to do with the refunding. We refinanced the library debt, took advantage of the lower rates, so we're able to save the taxpayers a little bit of money over the next 5 years. And the other, the 2010 bond issue, actually the decrease there is a little more than $500,000, and that has to do with us continuing the collections of federal subsidy interest, which offsets the amount that we have to collect from the local taxpayers in order to make the debt payments.
Could you please tell me, just for communication purposes, do you know what the current library millage is collecting?
Yes. Current library millage is .52. Last year it was .56.
And for the 2010 bond?
3.15, and last year it was 3.68.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Mr. Vaccarella?
Jacqueline Asbill,
Yes?
Michelle Hayes,
Yes.
Rex Reiger.
Yes?
Kelly Tromba.
Yes.
Vote is 4-0. And that's all I have this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vaccarella. And now moving on to item 9, Board Reports Administrative Team, Dr. Gowdy and Mrs. Smith.
Yes, it's with great pleasure that the school board member recognition each year in January, the State of Ohio Boards Association recognizes members of boards of education for their service to the public schools. Without those in the community willing to step up and serve in this capacity, the board members' public schools could not exist. On behalf of the Ohio School Boards Association and the residents and community of Madison, thank you for your dedication and service. And we have these certificates I'd like to give to each of you. Let me hand these out. Let's take it together. Mr. Reiger,
Thank you.
Ms. Asbill,
Thank you.
Mr. Fabian is not
Got a tear
here.
in my eye.
Ms. Hayes.
Thank you.
And Ms. Tromba. And I say this every year, but having served on the Solon School Board for 5 years, I can tell you, it's a thankless job. And they certainly don't pay the school board members enough, because everybody in the community is always holding them accountable, which they should, as the administrative team, for every action that happens, whether they like it or not. Sometimes it's on misinformation, sometimes it's on legitimate information. There's times when it's not popular to be a school board member. I think this board in particular has made some tough choices, has brought the district to a new level, and during their tenure, they've gone from an effective district to an excellent with distinction district. During their tenure, there's 2 brand-new buildings and a renovated Northern Elementary. During their tenure, a lot of good things have happened. During their tenure, they have made some very difficult financial decisions, where when our funding was reduced by almost $7 million over 2 years, they stood up and had to make the reductions in force that we did to the tune of 62 people. So there's times it's not very popular. Most times it's not very popular to be a school board member. But I got to tell you, as a superintendent and being in this business now for almost 40 years, this board works very hard. This board is very dedicated to what they do, and they really care about the kids in this community. So I want to personally thank each and every one of you for your service to the Madison community. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gotti. Thank you.
Ms. Smith?
Okay, this morning, we had our teacher in-service, our mid-year in-service, and we had a teacher team present on positive behavior intervention support under the leadership of our special ed director, Katie Tomko. And I just want to commend the teachers that presented. They did an outstanding job. It is always tough getting up in front of your peers, especially talking about something that's new or a little different, and they did a phenomenal job. I know I'll probably forget somebody, but we had some representatives from the preschool, Betsy Keller. We had several middle school teachers, Teresa Joslin, Jackie McLaughlin. We had Bill Conway from South Elementary. Devin Arts, one of our brand-new teachers, was a part of that team and presented. He's at the high school. Laura Caldwell, I'm trying to think. I know I'll probably forget somebody, but they all just did a phenomenal job. And we look to be hearing more about that, because that's part of that restraint and seclusion policy that we adopted earlier this year. It's a mandate of the state of Ohio and federal government. To that end, we also then shared with staff a reminder that February 3rd is a waiver day for students, but all staff in the district will be reporting, and we will be doing our safety training under the direction of Officer Ralph Caswell, our SRO. He has done a wonderful job putting together our ALICE training, and you all will be getting, invitations to sit in on any part of it that you may want to be a part of that day. March 24th is also a waiver day for staff. Again, all staff report. The teaching staff especially will be working on another one of those state mandates, the student growth measures that they have to implement next year, student learning objectives, and we'll be doing some training with the county. And my favorite event is next Monday, reminding you all that the spelling bee is coming up. We have had, I guess, the South Elementary bee in 4th grade went 45 minutes. So I've really got to up my game, I guess. Those kids are really prepared with those words, and I'm really excited for the bee this year. I've been following the bee on Twitter and learned all sorts of interesting facts. I think we've had like 9 winners from the state of Ohio. Most of them in the 1960s and before. Our last winner, I think, was in the 2010-2009 range. See, so I've even done my research. So, you're invited to that, and I think you got your invitations last week.
Just one follow-up comment on the training today. I got to tell you, what we went through today is mandated by the state of Ohio. But this is one of those things that I'm impressed that they were forthgoing enough to mandate this, because it's taking a positive approach to education as opposed to being reactive and disciplining kids. The whole philosophy that they're trying to espouse and try to train people in doing is, let's make it enticing for kids to come to school, and the research really supports what they're doing. And I think I know the team that put on the presentation today is really embrace the idea. I know our administrative team's embracing the idea. I hope all of our teachers embrace the idea, because it really is a good concept. It's one of those things that's real easy for somebody to say, oh, that's not going to work. But where they have done it, they've increased attendance and graduation rate by 75%. So there's some impact to this. And it's really kind of making kids feel good about life. So I really, really am glad Katie Tomko and that whole crew and all the teachers, our teachers union president, Ms. Cassidy's here. The teachers were very attentive today, and I think it's going to be one of those things, we're piloting it now, and we hope to have all the teachers on board doing it by spring, and then start off the next year with all the kids and everything. But it really is a good thing. It really is a good thing. I think you'll see, my dissertation happened to be on trust in school climate. I think school climate will dramatically improve. Not that it's bad now, but I think it'll dramatically improve, because if the kids are feeling good about life, the teachers feel good about life, good things generally happen. So I'm really, really pleased we went through this training today.
And I think they presented, because having been a former secondary teacher, the team really did a nice job presenting ways that this can be implemented at the high school in a way that everybody feels committed and owns the process without it being too corny. And I think one of the things that we always wonder about is that kid that just sort of gets through to the end and really has no connection to school. And that's the one they're trying, part of what this process will connect and tie into.
So I think it'll be exciting the next few months. I really do.
It's very good. Anything else on the reports?
No, thank you, Mr. President.
You're up again on recommendations of the superintendent.
Okay. All right. Would like the board to approve the following unpaid leave request for Susan Huber, pre-kindergarten teacher, effective January 21 through June 6, 2014. Also ask the board to enter into employment contracts as follows for the following persons as casual day-to-day substitutes, beginning with Mark Henry Jr. and ending with Cindy McGiven. And the following certificated personnel under one-year limited contracts in Appendix B, and including Steve Reed, Madison High School baseball coach, to transfer Patty Davis from 6 1/4 hours per day, special education assistant, to special needs position at North Elementary, 7 hours a day, and the effective date being December 9th, 2013. And to approve each of the following substitute teachers approved by Lake County Educational Service Center and the Madison School District's Assistant Superintendent's Office, beginning with Megan Albert and ending with Thomas Witt.
So moved.
I'll second.
Comments, questions, discussion? Mr. Vaccarella?
Michelle Hayes.
Yes.
Rex Ryder.
Yes.
Kelly Tromba.
Yes.
Jacqueline Asbill.
Yes.
Vote is 4-0.
The next item has to do with some discussions we had at the organizational meeting related to a resolution to submit tax levy. A resolution declaring the necessity for submitting to the electors of the Madison Local School District the question of additional tax levy for the purposes of providing funds for current operating expenses and for general permanent improvements pursuant to Section 5705.217 of the revised code.
So moved.
I'll second.
Comments, questions, discussion? Mr. Vaccarella?
Rex Ryder.
Yes?
Kelly Tromba.
Yes.
Jacqueline Asbill.
Yes.
Michelle Hayes.
Yes.
Vote is 4-0.
We talked it to death at our organizational meeting. I don't think
Yeah.
anyone has anything else to say.
And the millage would equate to 4.99, correct, Mr. Vaccarella?
That's correct.
Okay. All right, then moving on to the consent calendar, entertain the approval of the board on the following items: to approve entering into a following agreement contracts with Legal Assistance Fund consulting service contract with OSBA effective January 1, and to enter into an affiliated agreement with Lakeland Community College and Madison pre-kindergarten program.
So moved.
I'll second.
Comments, questions, discussion?
What is Lakeland doing for us?
It's student teaching, pre-service teachers.
Thank
We
you.
have to have those agreements.
Any
Mr.
other?
We're good. Mr. Vaccarella?
Kelly Tromba.
Yes.
Jacqueline Asbill.
Yes.
Michelle Hayes.
Yes.
Rex Ryder.
Yes?
Vote is 4-0.
That concludes my recommendations, Mr. President.
Thank you, Dr. Gotti. Before we have public participation, Michael, do you have a time that we may have the second reading or the third reading? What day that's going to be?
No, I do not. I will bring the resolution to the county auditor either tomorrow or Thursday. I anticipate being ready Tuesday of next week.
Next week, okay.
Yeah. Is there a date and a time that the board would like to meet? Is it a day
Well, it's
better?
just a morning meeting probably, right?
Is there any morning that's bad? Is there any morning that's bad?
Not for me.
Okay. Then as soon as I get an estimate on how long it'll take the county auditor to turn their certification around, I will let you know, Mr. Reichert, and we can have a meeting scheduled.
All right, thank you.
And we only need the one more meeting.
Right. So at this time, we'll have public participation on any topic. You want to speak, have to come to the podium, state your name and address. Anyone? Okay, we're good. We do have a need for executive session. We won't be coming to the public back after that. What item is that for, Michael? Contract
Number one,
number 1. And is there anything else? We need a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
I'll second.
Need a roll call?
Jacqueline Asbill,
Yes?
Michelle Hayes.
Yes.
Rex Reichert.
Yes?
Kelly Tromba.
Yes.
Vote is 4-0.
All right, thank you. We'll take a short break and come back after Joe gets out of here, and thank you for stopping and staying.